The June 2013 Southern Alberta floods were the largest and most costly disaster in Canada at that time. This was the result of heavy rainfall on melting snowpack in the Rocky Mountains, which elevated river levels and washed into areas downstream. In Calgary, more than 80,000 people were evacuated from their home communities. One Calgarian lost their life to the flood, and as much as $6 billion in financial losses and property damage were experienced across southern Alberta. Calgary's Emergency Operations Centre, or the EOC, played a large role in managing the 2013 flood crisis. It was through the EOC that the Calgary Emergency Management Agency partnered with other important agency partners to provide the planning and direction needed to assist thousands of Calgarians during the 2013 flood.
The magnitude of the emergency response was daunting. 80,000 people needed to be evacuated, more than 20 bridges, 16 LRT stations were closed, and over 30,000 buildings were without power. And on top of this, there were many twists and turns in the response. A bridge collapse that nearly caused a train derailment on the Bonnybook Bridge, concerns that the hippos would escape their enclosure at the zoo. There really were so many cascading impacts that required us to continually pivot and coordinate each response to each new risk as it arose.
Following June 2013's event and an estimated $2.6 billion of losses in Calgary, City Council directed a comprehensive flood resilience strategy with assembly of an expert management panel on mitigation. This group of experts from across Canada and around the world developed 27 recommendations that became the backbone of a plan for river flood resilience for Calgary. Today, over 35 major projects or programs have been undertaken. These have eliminated 55% of the net flood damage potential that existed back in 2013. With work underway, this will rise to 70% within the next 2 years. The projects and programs include both local and regional, structural and non-structural measures, which include the new gates on the crest of the Glenmore Dam, which roughly double its flood attenuation capacity, 8 local flood barriers, including the downtown, Centre Street, West Eau Claire, Heritage Drive, Zoo, Inglewood, and Dean House barriers, pedestrian and road bridge replacements at 12th Street, 9th Avenue, and elsewhere, gravel bar shaping and bank stabilization projects to protect against erosion and make our riverbank areas healthy again, and drainage and stormwater management improvements to prevent backflooding.
Today, Calgary is 50% more resilient than we were in 2013, and this can be attributed in part to the City of Calgary's Flood Resilience Plan, developed as a combined effort between experienced people in the field and folks with lived experience through the flood. I am most encouraged that we were not defined by what happened to us. Rather, we have been defined by our collaborative response and immediate actions towards mitigation. Calgarians responded in 2013 by joining forces to get through the disaster together. In 2023, we have implemented measures to protect ourselves from future flooding.